Thank you all. Can you all hear me okay?
Yeah.
Woohoo, great. Thank you all so much for coming today. I know that it's almost the holidays and it's a really busy time of year, so it just means a lot to me to have everybody who's here able to come out and so many others that can't make it able to provide support. I also just really quick want to thank Sarah for allowing us to host here and for hosting so many great people. And I also want to thank Brandy for that great introductory speech and for your service on the school board. And my campaign manager who's running around taking pictures. Stuart is your go-to person for contributions, for information about the campaign, pretty much for everything related to both this work and legislative work that we do. So feel free to get in touch with him. But I am really pleased to be here today. And this morning I was thinking about this kickoff, and I was reflecting on last year when I hosted my kickoff for my first election campaign. And that day was June 24th of 2022. And my sister was actually up visiting from Montana, where she goes to school. And she was there to help and support me on that first day of coming out to everybody as a potential elected official. And that morning, as we were getting ready, my sister walked into my bathroom where I was getting myself dolled up, and she was crying because she found out that on the morning of June 24th last year, the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. And so we went to my very first fundraiser, and here I had been thinking to myself, am I the right person to do this? Am I the right voice to represent this community and Alaskans in the legislature? Am I qualified enough? Am I good enough? And I held my sister in my arms, and I thought to myself, yes, because we need more strong voices to support the issues that we care about as a community. We need more young people in office. We need more women in office. And I knew that not just on that issue, but on so many issues, as a lifelong fourth-generation Alaskan, I could help provide that voice for this community and for our state. And I'm really proud to say that after doing this for a year, I do in fact want to run for re-election. So in this first year in office, it's been a crazy wild ride. Just to give you a quick snapshot, I have been pleased to lead the Interior delegation. The 9+ members of us that are working together on behalf of Fairbanks and Interior issues are all over the place on the political spectrum. And yet, what I've been able to try and do is bring people together to at least hear from every single group that approaches us and wants to meet. And to try and get as many diverse perspectives in front of folks as possible, so we can make as informative decisions as we can, and we can work together as closely as we can. Because if the Interior stands together, we are a force to be reckoned with. Similarly, I've been pleased to work in a freshman caucus. This last year was historic because the Alaska State House elected 17 people who had never served in office before. And that's a huge, unprecedented number of people. And around 15 of us got together and self-selected into a freshman caucus with no party boundaries, with no caucus boundaries. And we've worked together on critical issues like long-term fiscal planning. I helped take the lead with one of my Anchorage colleagues in hosting a facilitated long-term fiscal planning discussion with them and trying to find what consensus we had as a group of freshman legislators. We've also found consensus and put forward legislation together in the House, and we exist to both challenge the status quo and also to make meaningful change. So I've been really proud to be a part of that. And on top of that, I've also been a member of our 16-person House Minority Coalition. And this is an incredibly diverse group as well. It is a tripartisan group. We have Republican Louise Stutes from Kodiak as our whip. We have Minority Leader Calvin Schrage. I hope he'll be the Majority Leader this next cycle. And then all of the rest of us, independents, Democrats, working together, all from all regions of the state, to try and make meaningful change. And we organized around values. We organized around the same values that led me to run for office last year, and which still are important to me today. And those are promoting Alaska's economic future. I need to have a long-term fiscal plan so that everyone's children and grandchildren here want to stay and work and live and play in Alaska. I ran last year, and my caucus organized this year around preserving access to education and higher education. And that is deeply personal to me too. I went to school in Alaska. I think most of the people in this room went to school in Alaska. And more importantly to me personally, I'm in Fairbanks today because of the opportunities that I had at UAF. And working to help support higher education and keep people in Alaska and support workforce development is critical. And then also protecting the public health, safety, and well-being of Alaskans. And this is also so critical and has never hit so close to home as it has these past few months. We have a public safety crisis in the state of Alaska, with recruitment and retention being a huge challenge for police and firefighting. We also have public health challenges in Fairbanks that the rest of the state doesn't fully understand, with our air quality, with water quality, and I want to help be a voice to improve the quality of life for Alaskans. And then we also have proposals like this one to have trucking from the Moncho mine to Kinross. And it sets such a dangerous precedent for this community, and I have been a lone voice in the interior, outspokenly in opposition, and I will continue to do so for this community. There are so many issues to work on. This state has so much at stake. I've had the pleasure of serving on several committees that I hope to continue serving on and working with my colleagues on. When we work together and we work across the aisle, we get things done. And I feel that I've demonstrated that in just my first year in office. I was one of only 2 freshmen to get a bill passed last year in our minority, one of only 2 people in our minority to get a bill through the House and Senate, which unfortunately was vetoed. But we're working together, and on the legislative front, we are doing good things. I want to continue to do good things, and the reason why ultimately is because I love Alaska with every fiber of my being. Alaska is my first and my greatest love, and I will continue to do everything I can to do as much as I can to represent each and every one of you and represent the people of this community. I'm going to say my tagline now, because that's important. I've experienced, I continue to bring that experience in legislative work and policy and consensus building to the table in Juneau. I'm energized, I will work hard, and I will continue to do everything I can to bring those values forward. And ultimately, I'm all in for Alaska, and I hope you all can come along on that journey with me. Thank you so much.